Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Mike Chase-Ortiz. I'm with Thomson Reuters, and welcome to this presentation this lunchtime. Thank you again for joining me. I'm responsible for product strategy for our generics products, and it's a real pleasure to be able to present to you here today on the topic of building and protecting strong product portfolios. Something that's very much a fundamental piece of what we help many hundreds of companies do around the world, both generic companies, formulation companies, and API manufacturers. In terms of my agenda today, what I wanted to cover with you is really a brief overview of current market environment globally, the major trends affecting businesses in the US and Europe, and then examine in more detail how innovators think about the life cycle of their products, and similarly how generics think about those same products too. What we'll find is that the kinds of intelligence and information that are required to succeed in both kinds of businesses are remarkably similar. First, to briefly introduce my business, Thomson Reuters, to you. We have more than 20 years of experience working to help innovators, generics, and API manufacturers with business-critical information. The core of our business has been and remains API manufacturing intelligence, which we gather and validate through a worldwide network of industry sources. So we do what is called primary intelligence world. It's quite unique within this particular industry. And so we talk on a daily basis with many hundreds of people in factories where, of course, API is being manufactured, but also to people like agents, traders, consultants, anyone really that can help us understand what's happening in today's API manufacturing industry. And the reason that we do this, of course, is that access to available sources at the right level of quality of active ingredients is very much drives dynamics for competition in the generic industry, and also allows innovators, should they wish to, see the earliest signs of developing generic competition for their branded products. You can find users of our Newport databases and consulting services in many business functions, from product planning through competitive intelligence and into API sourcing, of course. And today we serve something close to 400 customers around the world that operate in well over 80 countries today. We do all of this work from our offices in Portland, Maine, which is close to Boston on the east coast of the USA. So turning briefly to the industry, global spending is expected to increase in the next few years to more than $1.25 trillion. However, the majority of this growth in terms of revenue is likely to come from the emerging markets. Developed country spend is remaining very much flat or in the low single digits. As treatments become more specialized, we anticipate the largest component of spending to be in specialized therapy areas such as cancer and in many of the so-called Western lifestyle diseases such as diabetes. It's also important to note that today biologics not only make up the majority of blockbuster branded sales around the world, but are also now approaching around a third of all activity in R&D pipelines. US, of course, is still, by some degree, getting smaller every year, still the largest pharma market in the world, and certainly exhibits many of the kinds of developed market growth aspects that I mentioned earlier. Market share of generic drugs certainly continues to rise in volume terms, although not in dollar terms. And one of the biggest challenges facing particularly generic manufacturers and marketers today is that the FDA still has a very considerable backlog of about 2,500 ANDA applications that at the moment are taking around about 36 months to be approved. And if you've been seeing the industry news lately,